Jonathan Switcher
Punk sex.
loves to talk to his work.
You know, you're the first thing I've created that made me feel like an artist.
Don't you like your new scarf?
He never expected
Not especially.
to hear it talk back.
I really think I'm going crazy.
I am so glad you're working here. I never thought they'd hire anyone stranger than me.
You're the only one who can see me like this.
To the rest of the world, he's a disaster.
You're fired.
And she's a dummy.
You are one sick puppy.
But together,
Hey, don't do that.
You weren't so shy when you were creating me.
You weren't so real.
they make magic.
Look at him with the dummy.
Who are you to criticize?
That new stock boy, and I just want you to keep an eye on him for me.
I think I'm gonna handle things my own way. All the girl mannequins disappeared from the windows last night. Film at 11. Yes, my dear, your favorite. She is gone too.
Get him!
Mine's bigger than yours is! Go get him!
You are magic.
He's talking to the dummy again.
Andrew McCarthy, Kim Cattrall,
You know I would never bother you when you're getting a piece of wood.
Mannequin.
Welcome to Dorking Out. My name is Sonia Mansfield, and nothing's gonna stop us now. Ooh, everyone's gonna turn this off now. Joining me is my podcasting sister from another mister and the co-host of Dorking Out, Margot D. Hello, my friend.
You are one sick puppy.
We are dorking out about 1987's Mannequin, which has been requested multiple times. It is written by someone whose name I'm not going to pronounce right. Michael Gottlieb, sure. Gottlieb, thank you. And it's written by Edward Rugoff. That's his name, Rugoff. And Michael Gottlieb. It stars Andrew McCarthy, one of Margot's forever crushes.
Hello.
Kim Cattrall. She looks beautiful in this movie.
She's adorable. Everybody drink.
Everybody drink. Estelle Getty, James Spader in a very un James Spader like roles.
He was pushing it. He was trying. He's going for a thing.
Yes, G.W. Bailey in the G.W. Bailey role. He played this role in like every movie.
He was in MASH. They basically took his character from MASH and brought it to this movie.
Well,
and I'm not mad at it.
And Police Academy.
Police Academy, thank you, which I'm a big fan of.
I can't believe I just learned that a few weeks ago, how much Margot loves Police Academy. And I'm not going to pronounce this name right either. Meshach Taylor, yes, who plays Hollywood Montrose. We're going to talk about it. My son once said to me, "Is a woman mannequin a womakin?" And that's all I could think about the entire time I watched this movie.
He needs to have a conversation with Matt Walsh because they're both confused. Like, what constitutes women? But your son is a child. I don't expect him.
Is a woman mannequin a womakin?
Which is clever as shit.
And I kept thinking of it anytime throughout the whole movie. But, Margot, did you see this in the theater?
You're goddamn right I did.
Yeah, I did too. And I
enjoyed it. It's a great year for movies. We'll probably talk about that towards the end. But, yeah, I looked at the top 10 for me, which I normally don't do. I just stick to what I do.
Yes.
Yeah, I loved it. And then I loved it when it came out on video, and it was on TV constantly in the 80s into the 90s. And then I haven't seen it. It has to be, I can't believe I've been in New York since 95. I don't think I've seen it since I've been here. So it was a long time ago since I've seen this movie.
Yeah, this movie was one of those, like, saw it in the theater, thought it was so great. By the way, critics fucking hated this movie.
They can fuck themselves, but we'll get to that.
They hated it. But I was like, it wasn't made for them, but whatever. Like, I liked it at the time, and then it was on, like, HBO all the time, and then it was definitely on, like, USA Network.
Yeah,
like every weekend. I was like, oh, Mannequin's on. It was always on. So if you haven't seen Mannequin, You should.
How dare you?
How dare you? It starts with like it says it right on the screen. A really long time ago in Egypt. Kim Cattrall is like getting into an arranged marriage, and she's like, I don't want to go to my arranged marriage, and she like prays to the gods, and she disappears.
Let's make it clear. She's in ancient Egypt.
Yes.
With like perfect 80s hair. She's a mummy. Her mother's from the Bronx or something. In the middle of Egypt. I'm not mad at anything, by the way. I'm going to say this. I fucking love this movie.
You are hilarious. I think this movie is bananas. Bananas. Like,
that's its strength.
Yes. Like,
I'm going to make that argument.
It does not take itself seriously.
No.
It doesn't make any sense. Like,
why should it?
And why should it? Because it's a movie about a girl who turns in a woman who turns into a mannequin. And then the mannequin turns into a woman again, but only for Andrew McCarthy. Why not? Sure.
Why
that's the movie.
Not? Look, it's the 80s, y'all. There were romantic comedies were really popular. We need these in the movie theater. Like, romantic comedies are dying, y'all. We need this.
Yes.
We need laughs, giggles, put the cute people together, give them a problem to solve, and then they get married at the end. There is nothing wrong with that formula.
Yes.
And this movie, this is one of the best movies we've talked about. I fucking love this movie.
I'm sorry,
this is screenplays. I want to write something like this.
This
Believe
is
me,
not
I'm
where
not
I
bother any of you to read my shit, by the way. Trust me. But I was like, I could probably do something like this, and it would be hilarious and fun.
I did not expect this conversation to go this way. I will, to make it clear, I don't think this is one of the best movies we've ever done. But I can take Mannequin on the level in which it is not meant to be taken seriously. It is not to like dig deep. It does not make sense. It has like dudes getting hit in balls, and at one point like Andrew McCarthy's butt gets on fire because he's like trying to stop a sign that's trying to hit Estelle Getty. There's like fighting for no reason. There's like a dog named Rambo running around.
I love Rambo.
There's James Spader who's playing like this like evil dweeb.
He's like... doing Martin Short when Martin Short did the defense lawyer on SNL. Do you remember that? I'll put that up there. He played the shark of a lawyer that's like, what's a lawsuit? I don't know. He's okay. I read the backup for this. I read the IMDb page and I went back to look at it. And the director was like, no, give me more.
Yes.
Do it bigger. Do it louder. We're going to put in Foley. We're going to put in sounds that don't happen.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to put that in there. I don't give a fuck. I think this is so much fun. I laughed out loud several times. You would think I was 12 years old when I watched this movie because it just completely made me. I bet Calvin would love it.
This movie, it is made. It is, yes, my son. He's 11. He would probably like this because he would think it was funny that like she turns into a mannequin and pops back out. This movie is this is what the movie's made for. It's, of course, people are like, you're like, people will think I was a 12-year-old girl. Like, that's who it's made for.
Like, what's wrong with that?
Nothing. It's a very, like, in a way, like, pretty chaste movie. Like,
it's so innocent.
Like, I think they do, spoilers, everyone, but eventually he fucks the mannequin. But like, they don't show any nudity.
Took a drink. Holy shit! Hold on, it's going up my nose. Ow! Ow!
By the way, everyone, this is a happy hour show.
It is. People accuse us of being drunk at our other show. I'm not drunk. I just had a few sips.
No, we're not drunk. I'm giggling because I didn't expect Margot to love it so much, and I'm fascinated by that. But like, because it is a movie that is made for 12-year-old girls, and that's great. There should be more movies made for 12-year-old girls. Is the message of this movie super great? No, but it's like, it is fun. Like, girls in 87, like, we all loved Andrew McCarthy. We thought he was dreamy. Kim Cattrall looks beautiful.
He still is.
He still is. Kim Cattrall looks beautiful. All of her clothes are like peak 80s. Like,
in
everybody,
the best way.
Yeah, everyone wanted wanted those clothes. Like, everybody wants to like be locked in a department store overnight where you could just do whatever you want. The music is super 80s and fun. We have Hollywood Montrose like running around, who at the time, like, people were like, what a very like flamboyant, outrageous gay caricature, which I understand because there wasn't a lot of representation at the time. And then when you get gay representation, this is what it is. Now I watch it where we get gay representation all the time. And I actually think he's aged better.
I know people like him.
He's really funny in this movie.
Meshach. I'm sorry. He was in the
Designing Women.
Thank you. I kept saying Golden Girls. Designing Women, and he was a hit on there.
Yeah.
I remember in the movie theater, every time he shows up, people would smile, laugh. He's funny as shit. Yes, everything is over the top. The politics are not great.
Right.
But I think, like, the character, who's the actress? I'm sorry, I don't have my phone in front of me.
It's okay.
The actress who plays Roxy, who's Andrew McCarthy's fiance.
Hold on. I'm going to look it up for you because
I'm obsessed with her. She is funny as shit.
She's got like a Julia Louis-Dreyfus thing going on in this movie. Is what she reminded me of Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
She is like Margot in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Yes. That woman is beautiful.
Her name is Carol Davis, and I'm going to look her up. She was a Penthouse model before this.
And she's an actress.
Yeah, and then she did Piranha 2. She did The Flamingo Kid, Mannequin.
Great movie.
Shrimp on the Barbie. She deserves better than this. If Looks Could Kill. And then she's in The Rapture. The Rapture's really good, actually.
She's on a lot of TV as well.
Yes, she's on like Sex and the City and Two Broke Girls and stuff like that. But she's really funny in this. It's unfortunate like how her character is treated, because there is this like running sexism that she's dealing with. Like, one of her coworkers is just constantly trying to fuck her, and it's like,
but she fucking punches him in the balls.
Yeah,
like,
she does.
Right there. She doesn't take his shit for a second. It's the politics of the time.
Yes.
This is one case where I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna let it fly, because they make her stand up for herself. And she does. She and Andrew McCarthy are engaged. They're dating.
I think they're just dating.
He can't keep a job because he's an artist, and he's always worried about the details. Like, even a pizza, like a pepperoni pizza, he has to put it out right. So he's always getting fired.
Yes.
And then he has this hot girl, and I think she's so beautiful.
She's really beautiful.
Oh my God. And she's like, dude, you got to figure your shit out. Also, there's the retail aspect. I worked in retail. That's how I put myself through college. So I know what malls and stores are like. I know the culture. There are cameras everywhere, by the way. Like, how they didn't install one until 1987. But also, I got to say, early 80s, little Margot, 12-year-old Margot in the early 80s, was living in Philadelphia area.
Okay.
So I see Philadelphia all over this movie and the best parts of Philly.
Yeah.
And it makes me so happy. And there's that there. I think the girlfriend, she sticks up for herself. She's like, dude, get your shit together. She gives him the guy that they give her to harass her is an Italian. It's over the top.
Yeah, it's so gross. It's just like,
but she punches him in the balls and he can't get it up when the moment is given to him. So she gets her revenge.
This is true.
Roxy is like the hero of this movie. I love Roxy. I think these actors, like you said, they're turning it up to 11.
Yes.
When everybody else, and that's not cool to people, but I think it's funny as shit. It's so, because all of this is ludicrous. I mean, Andrew McCarthy can't get a job, and then he shows up at this gorgeous mall in Philly, and he meets Estelle Getty. How big is Estelle Getty? I mean, how tiny is Estelle Getty?
She is so, she's wee. You could like put her in your pocket.
wee and twee. Like Andrew McCarthy, not a super tall guy.
Correct.
And he just crushes her when they're walking together during their walk and talks. I'm like, oh my God. They couldn't give her a little bump up, a little lift. But she's funny in this movie, but she's a woman that's inherited this company. She hires Andrew McCarthy because he saves her from a swinging sign that like they put like, we just did the nightclub horror movie, like these, it's like they took those fireworks but they put them up his butt, like on that sign.
Yeah, any chance they get a chance to like go for that kind of joke, they do it in this movie. So he gets like a spark on his butt, or like the dog farts, or like that.
Calvin will love this movie. I'm telling you right now.
Is the kind of thing. This is what this is what the movie is, and
it's not pretending it's anything
else. Exactly. Well, it can't take itself. It can't take itself seriously. It's about a mannequin that comes to life.
Right. So she's this perfect mannequin that he made, and she is beautiful.
She is.
And they fall. He doesn't sleep. That's his whole thing. Like, he's a very anxious person. He's artistic. He doesn't sleep a lot. So he's up all night at that mall, which we all have dreamed of doing, right?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Kids. Yeah, we want to be in a mall overnight. So he's there, and then she comes to life after hours. I mean, she comes to life for him.
Only for him.
There.
Yes.
Only for him. So, and of course, yes, she's the one who helps him come up with these amazing displays. And those windows are great. For 87, those are really good windows.
This is true. This was not... Windows were a thing back in the 80s, before the internet, kids.
When you went, like, my mom, when she visited me at Christmas
window
time, shopping, Fifth Avenue in New York. Like, yes, it's still a thing, but especially back then, that's how you got customers into the store. Rhoda from the show Rhoda, Mary Tyler Moore's friend, she was a window dresser. So it's a thing. It's a thing. And so she helps him, but they're super creative. And then people start showing up to see the creations. And I guess they only have sex the one time. He's not balling her the whole time. That's a whole other discussion. I have my own movie in my head.
The movie in Margot's head, they're fucking the whole time.
It's a ballathon. It's awesome. There's a Skinamax version of my movie.
I'm looking forward to your fanfic. Please send it to me.
I will. But they're hanging out all night and they're trying all the clothes. I think Andrew McCarthy's. Yeah. I know Andrew McCarthy because let me be honest. I read everything about him when I was younger. Okay. He was really into old movies. He was into Montgomery Clift. He was like into like old. So he's doing all of that in their scenes together. And she's going all 80s.
Yes.
And he's trying to do all 40s. It's fun.
I think Kim Cattrall, like, sometimes I wonder, was Kim Cattrall born at the wrong time? Because I actually think Kim Cattrall could have been like a 1930s screwball comedy girl. Like, she has like really fast delivery. She's so beautiful. Like, I think she might have been just born in the wrong era.
I think... Era. We always say that.
Era. We got that. I got it from this movie, but
I get that from the Kennedy family. Era. So she, not a great dancer. That's the only thing she can't do. So she would be able to be like a Bugsby Berkeley musical. They didn't have to get it. But other than that, she looks great in the most 80-ish clothes and hair and makeup.
Yes,
which is
beautiful.
Not easy.
No. Gorgeous. And it is like made for a music video too. We get the whole like montage in the middle where they're playing dress up around the store, and like, you know, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now from Starship.
We don't get that till the end.
Yeah.
And I actually appreciate that song even better now. I still hate We Built This City.
That is one of the most hated songs of all time, I think, We Built This City.
And it's just because, you know, it was Jefferson Airplane, then Jefferson Starship, and then just Starship.
Yes.
And it's not like their late 70s, early 80s stuff like, Jane, you're playing a game, girl.
It's super poppy. That I think that's why people, also it was very overplayed. Overplayed, that makes people hate it.
Yeah, that does happen to music sometimes, because it was everywhere, and it still is. But anyway, so yeah, they're hanging around all night, and they're making these really cool displays. And then Estelle Getty has a competition with another store in Philadelphia, and that guy is up to shenanigans with James Spader, once again doing the weirdest stuff.
He's so weird in this career, movie.
Because he's fucking hot in the 80s. This is like this is around the time he did Pretty in Pink.
Yeah.
He was a sex. I mean, look, this is in my brain, but
yeah.
yes,
James
sexy.
Spader never gave a fuck about like being a teen heartthrob. Like he is like a character actor in a leading man body. He is such a handsome dude, and he's just like, nah, fuck it. I'm gonna play fucking villains and creeps and weirdos.
I'm gonna let my hair fall out one at a time. I don't give a shit. Not gonna get Botox.
Nope.
Not hitting the gym.
Nope.
Not gonna be like Tom Cruise. Like they're the same age. Like I'm not gonna starve myself or jump off of airplanes.
No, I don't know anything about James Spader personally, but
I can tell you a lot.
Ooh, okay.
He is. I think he's still married. He's been married a few times. He's just a quirky person.
Okay.
And one of my favorite quotes that he gave in an interview. Oh God, I'm crazy.
You're not crazy.
He said he's very particular about parking. He's like, I either need to be under the tree or closest to the place I'm going to. And I'm like, me too.
We're the same. Marry me.
Yes. Yes.
He's doing a thing, and he's got like the slick like parted hair, like what they would the definition of like an 80s nerd, right? With the like slicked hair with the part, sweet Waldo. I hope you make some friends this year, Waldo. like that kind of hair.
Hot for teacher.
Yes. He's got the glasses. Like
he's hunched over.
Yes.
He's talking, and I don't know. He's doing a whole thing. Not his best work. But, at the same time, how would you play that part the way you're being directed?
He's doing the thing that they're all doing in this movie.
Right.
They're all doing it.
With a screwball comedy, which is what this is,
yes.
And it's one of my favorite genres. When it's done right, I think it just brings so much joy. Because it's just the premise, you just have to take what's happening seriously. Like, this is really happening right now, but just make everything crazy.
Yeah, it's all dialed up to 11.
Yeah, which don't we all need that sometimes? I just, I see so many shows that are so dark, like literally, and like I can't see anything on the screen.
Yes.
There's such complicated dialogue. There's such complicated plots that I can barely keep up. You can't even check your phone. You got to like look in the whole time. Or you get something like this, like, oh, I figure out what everything's going to happen. But it's still good. It makes me laugh. I'm telling you, Roxy beating up that guy in her office, like punching him in the balls and slapping him around. I loved it.
I think critics took this movie too seriously. Like when I looked at some of the reviews, like some of the quotes of the reviews, I'm like, it didn't warrant this kind of hatred.
No.
Like it's pretty harmless.
It's not exactly. It's not bad for kids. It's not bad for women or gays. I mean, it's totally, there's women doing stuff. These women have jobs and they're important to the plot. Sure, Hollywood's over the top, but where else were you seeing gay people in 87 if they weren't in an AIDS movie? Let's be clear.
Yeah. Well, he's a good person.
He's funny. He's smart.
Yes.
He protects him. He sticks up for his friend.
And he's hilarious. He has so many good lines.
He's fucking hilarious.
I love it when he says, there's two things I love to do, fight and kiss boys.
Yes.
Or just like, there's a whole thing where like Andrew McCarthy is carrying the mannequin around with him, and like going into rooms where they can be alone so that she can like turn into Kim Cattrall and they could talk or whatever. And everybody knows it now at this point that he's just, to them, he's this weirdo who's walking around with a mannequin, right? And they're all listening at the door, and he, here comes Hollywood, and he's like, y'all shouldn't be listening in on his conversations without me. Oh, like, he's so funny.
It's ridiculous, of course. So then James Spader hires a security guard, and who's the actor? I'm sorry.
G.W. Bailey.
G.W. Bailey is doing a thing too. And he even says, like, every time we gave a read, they're like, can you do it more? Can you do it even more? Can you make it even bigger?
And this is what he did in the 80s. Like,
yes!
He played like this. Like, this is basically the same character from Police Academy. It's the same thing.
And MASH.
He's
doing the same thing. But I'm not mad at it. It's like, that's what I want from him. He has the dog, Rambo, who's hilarious.
He calls him that because he likes to draw first blood.
Yeah. He's like the James, he said to James Spader, do you want a written report? He's like, you can write? No. But Rambo can.
Yeah.
I love Rambo.
There's a whole thing about, like, he is, like, pretty homophobic and he says some stupid shit. But Andrew McCarthy, like, calls him out and says, like, it could be worse. I could be working with a bigoted jerk. Like,
yes.
The way they talk about Hollywood is not normalized. It's you're a jerk for talking like that, which is pretty different for the 80s. Actually, like in the 80s,
gets to be himself.
Yes,
and he's doing his thing. He's creative. Leave Hollywood alone is my point.
I love the whole thing where he like gets out of his like he puts on like he takes off his like really like loud outfit and he's got like a gray suit underneath and he's like, "Don't tell anybody that you saw me dressed like this."
This is very 1987, y'all.
Yes.
Like the sunglasses are just ridiculous. How can you even see through those things? Look, yeah, I get it. I don't give a shit. I love it. It made me so I laughed out loud. I'll tell you when I laughed the hardest is at the very end. So Kim Cattrall comes to life. And they're taking, so she basically comes to life and then everybody can see her. So then it's a whole, and they tell you everything in the trailer. There is nothing.
Yes.
You know exactly what you're in for when you go to see this movie. You're an idiot if you can't see it. But so he's like, she's the dummy and she's not. But there's a guy there. There's a
janitor. Yeah.
So first he tries to kiss Roxy, and she's like, "Get the fuck off me!" Like she pushes him off. So then they all leave, and then he's seeing all these mannequins. And I love this shot. He's like hoping to get a mannequin, and he's like looking around. And then he just dives head first. I laughed out loud.
He dives headfirst into a dumpster. Like he's gonna start kissing mannequins, like kissing frogs.
What's gonna happen?
Like kissing frogs. He's got to kiss a lot of mannequins.
I don't know. Yeah, it's not earth-shattering. It's not gonna, it's just silly, fun. It's frivolous. It's just a good time. If I'm just going to a movie theater for a couple hours in 1987.
Oh my God, this movie, 90 minutes. 90 minutes.
It clocks in. It's a silly little rom-com with really cute people doing fun work. What is your problem? What is the bug up your asshole? There are so many comedies that don't work, that don't get nearly the kind of hate that this did.
I feel like this movie, it got so much hate, and it's not mean-spirited enough to warrant this kind of hate.
No!
Like, it's like very earnest, like everything dialed up to, it's too goofy for that kind of hate.
I mean, they're just all kind of like, oh, this is so I don't know. It's not, you're not watching Platoon, y'all. This isn't War of the Roses. This is its own thing.
Yes.
And it's like Roger Ebert, like, is taking his shit all over.
Oh my God. He gave it like half a star. I was like,
half a star. I'm like, really?
But it's at the same time, I'm like, Ebert, a lot of critics, they are not good at taking into account who the movie's made for. And the movie is made for 12-year-old girls or boys. I don't want to, exclude a 12-year-old boy would probably love Kim Cattrall in this, or Andrew McCarthy, or you know what? It doesn't matter. They might love it. I'm just to say that.
It's the fantasy of what if you're an odd person and you find someone who gets you. and is totally cool and also helps inspire you. Who wouldn't want that?
We all want someone who pushes us to be our best selves.
Why? I mean, what are you not getting, y'all? Like, it's just fun. It's silly. Yes, it's very silly. It's very over the top. But I'm sorry, you've got a cold black heart if you can't at least enjoy this. Like, you fold your laundry, you put this on. You know, it goes down nice and easy.
It is a very easy watch.
Yes.
And it is like, it is so 80s. It is so fucking 80s. I can't, like, the music is super 80s. The looks are super, the hair, the clothes, the makeup, everything is like peak 80s. The idea that there's like competing department stores and like, you know, well, I'm going to go to the board and we're going to take over your company. That is some fucking 80s shit right there. Like
right
every comedy in the 80s was like, oh no, you're going to make me lose the big deal. And like,
we got to meet the board of directors.
This movie is almost a spoof. Like, it is almost like you could watch it now as almost a spoof of 80s movies. Like, because it's so fucking 80s and it makes no sense. There's a whole thing where she's like flying in a hang glider in the department store. How the fuck does that happen? It doesn't matter. Like,
no.
At one point, the G.W. Bailey starts trying to hit Andrew McCarthy, and I was like, why is he trying to beat him up? Like, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter.
It's on the level of the Police Academy movies. And
yes,
kind of what I like about them is they're just like, this is just up to 11. We're taking this to 11.
Yes.
These go to 11. That's all. That's all. And
these go to 11.
And they don't hurt anybody, and they're not going to make you dumber, and they're not going to hurt your view of humanity. I mean, I loved it. I can't tell you how delighted I was by this. Like, it's fun. God damn it.
I would like Kim Cattrall and Andrew McCarthy to make a romantic comedy now. I think they have a lot of chemistry.
They look great together.
They really do.
They look great together. They're funny. Yeah, they could be. You know what? I'll write something for them. I'm writing that down.
Yeah. You could get James Spader for that.
You can get them all if they're not dead. Yes. We can get the starship. You could
get G.W. Bailey. He's still around.
Is he still around? Mesock Taylor is still around. I mean,
no, he's not. Actually, he died.
He died? When did he die?
He died in like 2014.
Oh, from what?
I don't know. I can look it up for you though. I'll look it up right now.
Yeah, look it up because I remember him from Designing Women, where there was Bernice.
He was so funny on that show.
Black man. That show was so great.
He had cancer. Fuck cancer.
Fuck cancer. Oh, that makes me sad. But you could bring somebody and make him his nephew or something.
That's true. Also, Designing Women fucking holds up. There are
that shit holds up.
Yeah, there's so many good speeches. They're ahead of their time on that one.
That the lights
went out in Georgia. I just saw that one recently. Oh, it's so good. I wanted to tell you that. So, of course, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now was nominated for Best Song at the Academy Awards.
It's a fine song. It's fine.
It's fine. It did not win.
What won?
I'm going to read all the nominees for you.
Okay.
One is The Princess Bride, Storybook Love.
Oh, Mark, the Dire Straits. God damn it.
Oh, Mark Knopfler.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I really like this song, actually. Shakedown from Beverly Hills Cop 2. Shake down, break down, take
you're
down.
Busted.
And then we have Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now from Mannequin. Then we have Cry Freedom from, I think that was Peter Gabriel?
Pico.
And then the song that actually won was I Had the Time of My Life from Dirty Dancing, which...
That's a good year for music.
That's what I thought too. Thought too. I'm like, but you couldn't get away from I Had the Time of My Life from Dirty Dancing because
all those songs from Dirty Dancing, you could not get nutty. She's like the wind on my face.
Look, we all loved Patrick Swayze so much that we let him pretend that he was a music artist and he made a song.
Yeah.
It's not a very good song, but I'm going to take that back because it's kind of catchy and we're still talking about
catchy.
it.
Yeah. He's dead.
What do I know? I love Patrick Swayze. Like, love him. Do you want to hear about some of the other movies that came out in early 1987?
Yes, please.
Okay. The Bedroom Window.
Who's in that?
It is Steve Guttenberg and Elizabeth McGovern, and it is on the Criterion right now. The Criterion Channel is part of their 80s noir.
Oh, I gotta look that up.
Yeah. It is on my watch list on the Criterion Channel. Alan Quartermain and the Lost City of Gold. Do you remember that one?
No.
Okay, that one was Richard Chamberlain and Sharon Stone, and it was their Raiders / Romancing the Stone ripoff.
Wow.
Yeah. I saw it in the theater because I saw everything in the theater. This would have been 16-year-old Sonia. This is where I was riding my bike to the Dollar House and I saw every movie. So I think I saw all of these. Outrageous Fortune.
Great movie.
Shelley Long, one of our faves. Black Widow.
We talked about Black Widow. It's a good movie.
That one holds up. That's a good one.
Yep.
From the Hip.
Oh, I'm not a big From the Hip person.
It's Judd Nelson. We were all I don't know, people didn't see it. Poor Judd Nelson, he didn't make the leap from his Brat Pack to he did do New Jack City. That's pretty good.
He also did Suddenly Susan.
He did Suddenly Susan, which is part on that Brooke Shields documentary. Yep. Light of Day.
We have to cover Light of Day one of these days.
Yes.
The Michael J. Fox
Joan
documentary is coming out. Joan Jett, just around the corner to the light of day. Yeah.
It's a rocker movie. Margot's probably super into it.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Yeah. Over the Top.
That's the arm wrestling movie with Sly Stallone.
What I remember is it had this cheesy love song come from it, which was weird because I don't think there was a love interest in it.
No, it says son, who was the most annoying kid in movies ever. Oh God, that.
But the song was "Meet me halfway."
Yes,
so cheesy, so cheesy. Nightmare on Elm Street 3: Dream Warriors.
Great movie.
That's a really good one. Some Kind of Wonderful.
Not my favorite.
Not my favorite. Hollywood Shuffle.
Good movie.
That's a good one. If you haven't seen Hollywood Shuffle, you should see it.
And you like movies about movies.
Yes.
Yeah.
I loved Robert Townsend. I used to watch his stand-up. I loved Robert Townsend.
Yeah.
And
same.
I loved Hollywood Shuffle. And then Blind Date.
Ooh, not a good movie.
Not a good movie, but I loved Bruce Willis so much that I was willing to see it.
We all did at that time.
Yeah. This was moonlighting, Die Hard. We had to see Blind Date. We had to.
It was,
but it was terrible. Not good. Anyway, that's our list.
Do you want to hear the top 10 songs? 1987.
Yeah, I
when
do.
This movie came out, so it's week ending February 13th, 1987. Is the American Pop Hits. Number 10. Lionel Richie, Ballerina Girl.
I loved Lionel Richie so much. I was super into Lionel Richie.
I really appreciate him now. He done some good shit.
Yeah.
Commodores are amazing.
The Commodores are amazing.
Number 9, Boston, We're Ready. Not sure if I remember that.
I don't remember that one.
I like Boston, but that's not something. Number 8, this is so Bay Area. You and I were both living. You still live in the Bay Area.
Yes.
I live in Brooklyn now. Anyway, Huey Lewis in the News, Jacob's Ladder.
Fucking love that song. And I love Huey Lewis. I love them unironically. Love Huey Lewis.
Number 7, this fucking song you couldn't get away from. Billy Vera and the Beaters, At This Moment. Why did this become a thing?
Okay, this song was in Family Ties. It was like the kind of the love song that like Alex P. Keaton and his real life wife, Tracy Pollan.
Yeah,
they like get together and like they kiss to that song, and then that song became huge. You couldn't get away from it.
Huge. Yeah. Number 6, Chicago. Will You Still Love Me? Will you still love me for the rest of your...
I wasn't into
fave.
I wasn't into 80s Chicago.
Pussy Chicago, I have no time for. The old 70s shit.
Did you call them Pussy Chicago?
I called them Pussy Chicago.
I've never. That's the only thing I will call them from now on. Pussy Chicago.
This song, I thought this band was going to be huge. Georgia Satellites, Keep Your Hands to Yourself.
No hugging, no kissing,
no kissing
till you make me your wife.
That's a good song. Don't have me no lies.
And keep your hands to yourself.
Number 4. Oh, this is so 80s. Samantha Fox, Touch Me, I Want Your Body.
I loved Samantha Fox.
I want to have some fun.
She's beautiful. She's beautiful.
Gorgeous. Number 3, Cyndi Lauper, Change of Heart.
I loved Cyndi. I still love Cyndi Lauper.
Still love Cyndi. Number 2, Madonna, Open Your Heart.
This song is still really great. That's a good one.
Couldn't get away from it. Yeah. Not my favorite, but for everybody else in the world, this is their favorite song, so I'm not going to say anything. Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer.
Not my favorite Bon Jovi either, but I know people love it. It is one of those songs that people love to karaoke.
It's also like 80s rock.
Yeah.
Like that's and I live in the East Coast. Like Bon Jovi's big in Jersey. And
yeah. I know.
It's part of Jersey lore.
Yeah. But yeah, so that one, Living on a Prayer, Wanted Dead or Alive. That's another.
It's from the Slippery When Wet album, which all my friends had.
Blaze of Glory.
And we drive around and that's all they would play. Like this one over and I'm like, can we please play Janet Jackson? Can we please?
I love Janet. Is it uncool to like Bad Medicine by Bon Jovi? Because that's the one I liked.
That's a good song. I was like Bon Jovi fine. It just was.
But I was never like, I wasn't like super into Bon Jovi. They weren't my jam, but like you couldn't get away from Bon Jovi.
And I like John Bon Jovi as a person.
Yeah, he's very nice.
He's so cool and he's so philanthropic and especially is good for the people where he grew up in Jersey and South Jersey. He's so on the mark there, like taking care of people. So
yes, we did a whole non-creep about John Bon Jovi because he started a restaurant where people who are unhoused can like get jobs and like learn
and get a meal and pay as you
exactly
pay as you will.
Exactly.
He and his wife
awesome.
Dorothea. Yeah, which you were like, sometime you're gonna come out here, we're gonna go down and check it out.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That's a good list.
That's a Bon Jovi fans are coming for me. Fuck you.
How dare you?
Living on a Prayer is awesome. I have to say, though, Triumph, the insult dog, when he goes to the Bon Jovi concert is one of the best things.
If you're ever feeling depressed, y'all, go on YouTube and type in Triumph, the insult comic dog. Just any of them. He goes to the dog show. He goes to harasses the Star Wars nerds. That one's a great one.
That one's a class. And the Chicago at the hot dog stand.
Yeah, at the hot dog stand. Like any of them. I have things that are like go-tos when I like need like a laugh real bad. Triumph is one of them. And watching Bill Hader as Stefan.
Yeah.
When, like, this place has everything. Like makes me laugh every time.
I'm interested because John Mulaney wrote all those.
I know. And
he has a special coming out. Yeah. And I'm wondering how it's going to be.
I have mixed feelings about John Mulaney because John Mulaney's specials are really, really funny. And he's like very clearly a naturally very funny person. But he, you know, what he did with his wife and Olivia Munn, like it's shitty. Like it's shitty. But like, does it like ruin John Mulaney for me? I'm like, a little, but like not enough to make me not like Stefan or watch his comedy special.
Yeah, I'm just curious, like, because he was one of those wife guys.
Yes.
Talk about. He's someone that always talked about how amazing his wife was and how happy they were, and they weren't going to have kids, and they had a dog, and that's all they cared about. And people break up for sure, but to get someone else pregnant right away, when you had said to the other person, "We're never going to have kids, and I'm okay with that, and let's just have that be our thing." And that person's now at an age where, like, all right, well, if I'm going to ever have that, I mean, I don't know. I got a lot of feelings.
I also have a lot of feelings because I used to be married to a wife guy.
Yeah.
So I also have feelings.
Was this just always a lie? Was this always just
yes?
All right.
Yeah, exactly. So
anyway,
I have feeling. Also, he did a whole thing where he did invite Dave Chappelle to his show, and that was upsetting to me because John Mulaney was always like an advocate for
marginalized people.
Yes, exactly. And then to invite someone like Dave Chappelle, who then shows up and tells these fucked up jokes to people who were at John Mulaney's show where they felt like they were in a safe space, and then instantly they weren't. It was fucked up.
Just understand, like John Mulaney, when Louis C.K. was first outed for being the huge notorious creep and semi-apologized for it, he was one of the only people that dropped his manager because his manager was part of the problem. So John Mulaney, so you would think that anyway, let's not debate that. We'll talk about it when we talk about a special.
Yeah.
Okay.
My friend, what else are you dorking out about?
So I'm in a writers group, and they're going to hear about my screenplay idea
for Mannequin 3.
I swear to you, I've got ideas. Okay. But we were talking, the only thing we could talk, we were at a text chain, and then I heard from their friends and their text chains, is about the Brooke Shields documentary on Hulu. Did you see it?
Yes, I did.
What are your feelings and thoughts?
It's so good. First of all, like, I will say I started it and I didn't realize it was 2 parts. So a lot of people said that. Yeah, so it just ends and I was like, what the fuck? What? Like, what a weird place for it to Oh, there's 2 parts. That makes sense. It is so good. Like it does such a good job of establishing what it was like for her as a child growing up that way and how things were kind of normalized at the time. Kind of. And how this just wouldn't happen now. What happened to her it almost like could only have happened then. Like,
it's an interesting perspective in that, like, so Brooke is born like 64, 65. Yeah. So she's 10 years old in New York City. And she's a model, and she and her mother, so her mom's a single mother, a single parent, and Brooke is like the breadwinner from the time she's a baby, and she's extraordinarily beautiful. And
she is
photogenic and great on camera, and she and her mother are very close, but her mother is an alcoholic, and her mother has a lot of demons. Mm-hmm. And so one of the questions we were asking each other is like, do you think she gives her mother kind of a pass? And I don't think she does.
No, I think she calls out what was happening at the time. What is she supposed to do? Like, be super shitty about it? Like, I think she handles it straight on, like, as you should.
She is, they do these interviews. She's like 10, 12, 15 years old. She is so poised.
Yes.
She is so graceful and gracious when people are not being that way to her, completely objectifying her. Completely just treating her like she's just came off a spaceship, like just the weird way people treat her. And then she was in this movie called Pretty Baby, which is not a great movie, streaming everywhere, by the way. It's easy to get.
Never seen it, but I've read a lot about it because there's a lot to talk about with that kind of movie.
Well, it's turn of the century in the 20th century, and it's about a brothel in New Orleans, and Brooke Shields is the child of Susan Sarandon in the film, and they auction her off her virginity.
Yeah.
And also, at that time, Brooke posed for nude photos when she was 10.
10. Yes,
And
they were supposed to be like art
photos.
Yeah, but
her mom took her to everything, and her mom tried to be in control as much as she could. Her mother also had a drinking problem, so I'm sure that interfered with that. But when Brooke was like 16, 17, she really became a superstar. Like, she did these commercials for Calvin Klein jeans, which I forgot how long they were and how kind of salacious they were.
Definitely salacious, and it's so interesting
over my head at the time,
because she is portrayed as someone who almost like didn't realize what she was doing. Like, she was just doing what was asked of her, and she didn't realize that it was as naughty as it was. She was just doing what she was asked to do.
And she was innocent, and she was like completely naive and innocent, and just, so this is the time when this photographer is like, I'm going to cash in on these nude photos, and her family is suing, and she loses.
It's bananas. This is child porn. It's child porn.
Child sexual abuse, digital or photographic child sexual abuse. It doesn't matter if her mother said it was okay. It's not okay. It's just not. And she went from that, and she went to, actually my friend went to high school with her. She was a couple of years older at Dwight Englewood in New Jersey, and said she was the nicest and friendly and super sweet. And then she goes to Princeton, and she's like, I'm just going to Princeton for a few years, try to be normal. And she tries.
Yeah.
But then by the time she gets out of Princeton, she's out of style. And so she has to kind of find her way back to Hollywood. And I just remember all these beats with her, and I'm just like, God, she's been through so much.
Like, it's, and by the way, I used to watch Suddenly Susan because I watched
I
watched everything that was on like Thursday nights on NBC, and I remember thinking that show's gonna suck, and then watched it and thought she was really good on it. Like, she was
Lucille Ball.
She was really funny on that show, and she was so funny on her guest spot on Friends, where she's like the obsessed like fan of Joey. But like, I didn't know that stuff about her marriage.
Andre Agassi.
Yeah, I didn't know that stuff. I liked the context they give in the first part about how there was the rise in feminine and in feminism, and so there was a lot of women that were like, we're not dressing for you anymore, we're going to dress how we want to dress. And then it was like, well, we're going to take little girls and make them look how we want them to look. And it was a thing that I honestly had never thought about, and it was very interesting in her career, like how sexualized she was at such a young age, with something like Pretty Baby and Blue Lagoon and Endless Love, and like, I hadn't really thought about it. And she's so great, and like such a like honest person, like to sit there and address these things in a real way in front of a camera. I was like really impressed, and I tweeted out how impressed I was with the documentary, and then I just gave a little shout out to one of my most recent favorite things, which is A Castle for Christmas on Netflix, in which it's one of those like Christmas romantic movies with her and Carrie Elways from The Crush, which we just talked about. And I think it's super sweet, and one of my favorite like Netflix holiday movies that they've put out recently. She's really good in it. I love Brooke Shields.
I love her too, and she's so gracious about her mother and what she went through. And I think it's just, they were a duo. Like, they just had each other. I have issues with my parents, and they're not here anymore. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
You got to make sense of it. And she seems like she's super, her husband seems like the nice guy.
She seems very happy.
very happy, and it's really worth your time. And it's just your mind is gonna be boggled, especially if you're really young. You're gonna be like, people had like, do you remember the Love's Baby Soft ad?
Yes.
With that girl that's like, this come hither kind of thing. And she looks like she's 10.
They're kids. They are little kids. It is, and it's like the lip gloss that they put them like. It's fucked up. It's fucked up.
Super fucked up. So anyway, it's really well done. I would definitely recommend if you have Hulu or where it is around the world, if you're interested, to check it out. I also, Yellow Jackets is back.
I haven't
really
caught
great.
up yet.
Once again, super dark. Can we put a light on these shows? I can't see anything.
Right. I need to catch up. Maybe I'll do that tonight because I really like the first season very much.
Yeah, the second season. Then what did I write down? Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip on Peacock.
Okay.
Of course.
I am one episode behind on that, but that show is it's fucking fun. It's just fun.
It's stupid. It's
so stupid. Yes.
It's so stupid. I get it. You're not going to be smarter. It's just fun. God damn it. Talking about, Apple Plus, Ted Lasso, I'm really enjoying.
I know it's ending soon, and I'm trying to like mentally prepare myself for that. But it's just so good, and I love those characters so much. Even the smallest characters like have humanity, have something about them that you can love.
You connect to.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's such a good show.
Finish it up. The Jeremy Renner, Diane Sawyer interview.
Ooh, I haven't watched it.
It's really good. It's also on Hulu because it's an ABC production.
Yeah.
My friend Patty warned me because I fell and I broke my ankle and I had a whole months and months of
gruesome.
rehab.
Gruesome.
It's pretty tough. It's pretty tough to listen to, especially if you've been injured but he looks great.
Oh, I'm glad.
Someone like just 4 months ago even was in this horrifying accident, and what his family's been through, what he's had to do to get to where he is. I mean, good on him. And I think we need to see that people aren't always, something can happen to you at any moment and your life can change. Yes. And it takes a lot of resilience to kind of get through that. And what helps is seeing other people go through it.
Yes.
So
we just talked about this in What a Creep too, where people talk about like, and then they were injured and it's like, brr, like it's not that serious. And it's like, no, that shit changes people's lives and can make it
absolutely
harder. And I'm glad he's doing better.
Yeah, he looks good. I mean, I was joking, like, did he get a glow up while he was getting all the other surgeries? Because I fucking would, let me be clear. If I'm knocked out anyway.
Hey, while you're in there,
just pull up and
because
he looks great.
Pull some stuff up for me. Thanks.
A little nick and a tuck and a whatever and nip
I'll take
tuck
it.
Or whatever.
I'll take it.
I'll do it. And then the last thing I want to recommend that I saw was the Sarah Polley movie, Women Talking. Have you seen that?
So good.
She's a fucking phenomenal director.
That movie
is beautiful.
I saw it right before the Oscars. I decided to watch it, and I was like, this movie is so fucking good, and she should have been nominated for Best Director because she pulls off.
What did she win for? Screenplay?
For adapted screenplay. She pulls off a trick in that movie because that movie is just like these women talking. It's right in the title. But it is gripping and sad and then like hopeful at the same time. It's a fucking phenomenal movie.
She has a great eye, and I've been watching some Orson Welles movies lately, and she's kind of on that level. Like the way she uses space, way she uses light, and we love her anyway because we're big Sarah Polley supporters here, and she has a great book. Just type in wherever you get your books, look up the Sarah Polley book. She's great. So that's it for me.
That's a good list. I'm glad you watched that. It's
great.
It's so good.
It's so good.
I wanted to mention that I am caught up on Love is Blind, just saying. And if you are also like obsessed with Love is Blind like me, which is on Netflix, there's also a podcast that you can listen to that is hosted by Love is Blind's season 2. 2 women from season 2. It's Deepti and Natalie from season 2, and it's given all kinds of tea, like all kinds of insight onto how they filmed the show, some good tea about their season, and then they just know people who work on the show, so they have like good dirt about the current season. But so Love is Blind, where the people like meet in the pods, they meet, they can't see each other, and then they like get engaged sight unseen, and then they have like 4 weeks to like spend together and then decide if they're gonna get married. And they do the whole thing where they walk down the aisle and all that, and then they'll be like, I don't. Like, it's real shitty. But this season has done something totally different than other seasons in that we've had really big villains, which wasn't really a thing before. So there's like a couple of women who are clearly, they were just on the show because they got turned down for Perfect Match or whatever, and they're not interested really in finding husbands, and they've been full on villains. But there was another woman, her name is Jackie. And the people who watch the show now are like, Jackie, fuck her. Okay, because Jackie was engaged to this man, Marshall. And Marshall he's very sweet. And he's like clearly done some therapy. And I was like, that's hot. Someone's done therapy. Like, I like it. He's very like thoughtful about how he speaks and like asks questions and knows when like shit's too much for him. And he'll like say, I'm leaving and I'll be back or whatever, whatever. Anyway. She's decided that they're not a match, and she like, instead of going to like try on her wedding dress, she was having lunch with somebody else from the pod, and she cheats on him. Big deal. And then she like goes to him and is like, I'm really into Josh, so I'm not going to marry you. And he's like, I want my ring back. And she's like, nah, I'm going to keep the ring. Right? Like, I'm like, you cheated and you're keeping the ring?
Does she keep the ring?
Apparently. She kept the ring. I'm like, bitch, please. Bitch. Anyway, you know what she is? She's one of those girls who mistakes, like, anxious, like, nervous stomach for butterflies and thinks, like, I don't have butterflies when Marshall... and it's like, sakes. It's because you're not fucking anxious, girl. Because Marshall's a man who tells you how he feels. Like, bleh, whatever. I'm, once again, so fascinated by Love is Blind. But speaking of Netflix, they also dropped Beef on Friday. Have you watched Beef?
No, what's Beef?
Okay, it is Ali Wong and Stephen Young from... he's from The Walking Dead, and she's Ali Wong. She's a comedian. And they like get into like a road rage situation, and it just kind of escalates. It's a series that just dropped, and there's like 10 episodes, I think. And she is like an artist, like trying to get her stuff into like a Home Depot. She's trying to like merge with a Home Depot, and he's like a guy who's like a contractor that's living paycheck to paycheck, and they're just like having this war. And they're just like escalating. And I really like Ali Wong, and I really like him too, Stephen Young. So I'm kind of all in. I really like it. It's a dark comedy, I guess you would say. If anybody listening watched Tuca and Birdie, they also did the voices on Tuca and Birdie. So it's kind of weird to hear Birdie and Speckle fight like this, but it's good. I think it's good. So I recommend. And I said about Out of the Pod. So I think that was my list. Also, just Giants baseball's back. So I'm busy. I'm watching my baseball.
Oh, I thought you said Spaceballs is back. I was like,
that's what Calvin calls it. Spaceball. But no, I've just started watching baseball again. So I'm watching a lot of baseball. But I'm glad we got to talk about Mannequin. I'm glad that you loved Mannequin so much.
Y'all, it's a great movie.
That makes me
get on it.
Makes me so happy. My friend, tell people where they can find you on the internet.
You can find me on Twitter at Brooklyn Margot. I'm on Instagram at Brooklyn Fit Chick. My site is brooklynfitchick.com. And then my TikTok is at Margot Donahue.
She's posting really good stuff on her TikTok, by the way. I love the one with your cat and and it's got the mouth.
There's one with the googly eyes I'm putting up
so
soon.
Funny. I love it.
Yeah.
If you like the sound of our voices, you can also find us at What a Creep, where we talk about creeps of the past and the present. Our current episode is about the station. Is it called the station fire?
Nightclub fire. Yes. West Warwick, Rhode Island. They just had their the very sad 20th anniversary since this fire happened, and it was a lot of shenanigans that happened that created a tragedy. And we're hoping this never happens again.
Yeah, Margot did a really good job on that episode.
Thank you.
If you want to find me, you can find me at thesoniashow.com and The Sonia Show on Twitter and Instagram and the TikTok. If you like dorking out, you could email us at dorkinoutshow@gmail.com and we'll send you some stickers wherever you are on the planet of Earth. You could get some stickers. And if you want to give us a couple of stars wherever you listen to your podcast, that would be delightful. It will help us find our people. And you can also find us at dorkinoutshow.com and Dorking Out Show on Twitter and the Facebook, where people go to complain that we sound drunk. Thanks for talking about Mannequin with me, my friend.
Thank you so much. This movie, it's stellar. That's all I can say to y'all.
Now I'm going to go fight and kiss boys.